everyone, and welcome to another Haes kind of fat logic nominee for our reading club. This one is called Body Positivity Power because life is already happening and you don't need flat abs to live it. And I was pulled into this one partially because of the title, and then like the contents you have: get thin or die trying, lose weight for good, only $29.99 a month, meaning it seems like it was focused on like the diet industry and it like dessert every damn day, which kind of some of these, the way things are worded, it seemed very Haes fat acceptance, even though it was doing it under the body positivity term. It just kind of seemed like it was that hyperbolic rhetoric that we see in the fat acceptance community, but at least from the introduction, it seems much more maybe personally focused than some of the other books that we've read, which it tends to be more generalized rhetoric. And an example of that would be this passage here, where she's talking to her father, and she goes, those body image issues that I've always had. In that moment, my dad could have been remembering any number of things. He could have thought back to when I was 5 years old and came home from school one day in my little blue check dress, clutching my stomach and asking him to tell me why it was so much bigger than the other girls. He might have remembered a time 10 years later standing beside my hospital bed, hoping for that day to be the one when I'd finally start my recovery. He could have pictured me at any point in the years that had passed since then, at any of the 9 different dress sizes and hundreds of pounds up and down that my body had spanned since then. And so it's kind of ringing of a very personal journey, not completely unlike what we encountered with William Hornby, where it's a focus on like disordered eating. She hasn't, I don't remember her confirming that she had like an actual eating disorder, but that's kind of what it sounds like. And then going hard into the health at every size and fat acceptance movement. And with people like this, I just tend to want to handle what they say far more delicately than I would with other fat acceptance people, because it gave them the peace of mind that they needed to overcome their disorder, and I don't want to shit on that. Like, I don't want to be the person that's like, well, you're stupid for getting into that, because if it helped them. And this girl on the cover, if you see like the big cover, she doesn't look, she's clearly not morbidly obese or anything. This could very well have just been things that put her mind in perspective and help her attain a average normal body weight and made her at peace with it, and I don't want to shit on that. Another thing that kind of lends to this is when she's saying that she's fixed them, and she's telling him that she has a new diet plan. I'd found how it was the one that was finally going to make everything better. Nothing like all the ones before. I'm sure by now he knew not to get his hopes up. I started to explain that I'd found something that in a few short months had changed my life, something called body positivity. And this was something where the body positivity, she says this was in 2014. And I think this is before body positivity became what it has become now. And I think this was a very good use of the body positivity. The thing that makes me think that there might be more things to critique about this is just some of the titles of the following chapters. But this seems very heavily couched in a personal experience, which wasn't quite what I was expecting. Because she doesn't frame herself as a victim. She just frames herself as these are the things that she struggled with. And so it's just, it's hard. And it's a short introduction. It's only 3 pages long. And I'm getting some very personal journey vibes. She talks about going on Instagram and seeing this very morbidly overweight woman that was very happy with herself. And she starts here. Seeing her happiness felt as if a sudden crack had been placed in the very foundation of how I believed the world worked. Here, for the first time in my life, was someone saying that you don't have to spend your days starving, sweating, and hating yourself. That it's possible to accept and even love your body just as it is. I had never realized that was an option. Nobody had ever told me that shrinking my body didn't have to be my ultimate goal in life. I'd only ever been taught that self-love would come once the hand hit the right number on the scale. And I don't really agree that this is like a common thing spread in media. I think that it's at least not now. I think things are more geared towards how active you are, how comfortable you are being active. But the stress to be thin, especially for young girls and young women, is still there. So I think that's kind of where this comes from. It just felt very personal to me, and I'm not against going through this, but it's going to be handled very delicately and with a lot of care and understanding of where this person, the journey this person has been through in their relationship with food. And it would probably be one of the most, like, I would kind of be a hard line on showing this person respect, at least from what I've gained from the introduction. I mean, we laugh at some of the ridiculous things that some of the fat liberation people say, because it's complete and utter bullshit what most of them say. And it's hyperbolic and it's very victimization, and I'm not getting that from her, and that's why I'm like, let's not go with our usual points, let's not go with our usual jokes, because clearly the body positivity movement and maybe some of these things that she has read and she has focused on really resonated with her and helped her, and I don't want to diminish that. Even things that we may disagree with can genuinely help other people. And there's a nugget of truth to almost everything. So this just, I'm not against reviewing this book, but just know it's probably not going to be as good a time as some of the others. But I still wanted to present it because it came through in my search for Haes and fat acceptance books. And a lot of the chapter titles seem to be headed in that direction. But from what I've gotten from the introduction, it's a very personal journey, and it would be handled very delicately. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.